Hey again, everyone. Just showing you the orchard. This is an apple. Let's see, from Ames Nursery on OHXF 333 rootstock. Anyways, so this is the inlet of the water from the pond. We wanted to do it off-grid as possible and try to simulate nature as much as possible. Basically simulating a beaver. So we have a shut-off valve that can branch off downhill, and then there's really no shut-off valve here though, but we could open and close downhill if we do additional swells downhill. But anyway, the pipe is going up, and as long as there's no snakes here, hope there's not. I got my boots on, and things are cooling off, so the snakes are again coming outside. Should be okay though. Let's see. So here's the top. It takes 15 gallons, or 12 to 15 5-gallon jugs. Once we are finished overwintering this and draining it so it doesn't freeze and bust the pipes, 12 gallons to fill up the pipe all the way up there to the top and down to the check valve to create suction. So the level from the top of the pond there to that swell, the first swell down there, the drop in elevation, to me it looks like 8 feet, but I was told 14 feet. Right now the pond level itself is about a foot off of its peak. That's the normal overflow, and then over there is the heavy storm overflow. So whenever you're doing a pond, you gotta double your overflow outward from the side, so that the storm water doesn't build and overwhelm the dam wall. But so there's bass, there's mussels in there, there's a beaver still in there. There's sunfish in there that we've seen, that I've caught so far. There's frogs, bugs, turtles. So there's life, there's an ecosystem going on in there, and that's bringing fertility through these pipes down here. Now this is still not full. I mean, it's not ready. It's not in use just yet. We broke a piece over the winter, but we did use this all last summer. I filled these up myself personally, and documented how the documented how the gopher and the mole and the armadillo holes infiltrate into our swells, irrigation ditches, and they kind of vein out the water, spreading it out more than we actually designed with the swells themselves, like arteries in between, zigzagging and whatnot. So the water would stop. Here, I'll show you down here. Also on my way, the grass is really dense here. From those bushes all the way here, and it could be leakage from the pond itself. I would be led to think that might be the case, because they did dig there, not too deep, but a foot down, all the way out. I don't know where this fertility is coming from, but definitely tells me I need to be planting something here versus planting it over there. Even though that whole section is sandy loam soil, same as it is here on USGS website. Okay, so the irrigated water comes, it fills this irrigation ditch pretty good, and then it fills the second ditch pretty good, and then after that When you go to look at the third one, you don't see anything. And then you're like, wow, I wonder why it's not filling up. Maybe it's because it's too sandy and it's infiltrating faster than it fills these berms to overflow to the next, is what we were thinking. And then we come back, 4 hours later, 5 hours later, and then I see the third berm full. And then I'm like, interesting. I'm wondering if it filled. There's no way it filled the fourth and fifth. And I go and check, and yeah, sure enough, it did. And then, I go in the middle of this and I look, and there's like a little well of water like coming out where there's like a hole, because it's down elevation, right? And so where there's a hole from like a armadillo or something that infiltrated that one to where the drain isn't our intended overflow, the lowest point is actually a hole in the ground, which is lower than our overflow. So it never hits the overflow because the hole comes first. And then it overflows to the next, and then more holes infiltrate and take it to the next and to the next. And so we're trying to put these offset from the holes, from the irrigation ditches, it's like 2 feet off. But as you can see, all last season with that method, it worked. And that was with heavy deer pressure. So this is the first season now without the deer pressure. So there's a little bit of like grasshopper pressure or something on these, but not too bad. Today, though, me and my son, we're planting. We have 6 elderberries, 2 different varieties for cross-pollination to plant, and then we have 1 fig, which is a cold-tolerant fig because this is zone 7B. You might as well call it 7A just to be careful, but zone 7A, and we want to make sure that we weren't planting, something that would die in the frost. Also, 2 of the 3 pawpaws are doing quite well. Very well, actually. Let me show you that real quick. Okay, here's more of that thick grass, but you can see the color change. If you were to wind the video, it's dense, but it don't got the color that it had up there, which again lets me know probably that's fertigated pond water. By fertigated, I mean because of the life. It has fertilizer in it already built in. So we don't have a top on this anymore, and it seems to be okay. So so this is a pawpaw. They say it tastes like a cross between a mango and a banana, I believe. This was supposed to be a zombie fruit, but the top died, and so this is a Osage orange. We're gonna leave it in case we need to make any bows down the road. It's gonna take years, and this was the smallest, most crappiest pawpaw last year, and also it looked the best early this season, but now it looks the worst. And then our third pawpaw, our third one looks pretty good as well. And I fertilized these last week. I'm not seeing any new growth, but I didn't fertilize them at all last year. Probably should have. And then we have these here. So these are jujubes, and one of them, the top died. So that's a rootstock. That's going to be a rootstock for this GA. I think it's 866 here is going to be the top growth. I did fertilize this last week as well. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to be fertilizing this. This is our original intention for deer with the electric fence that completely didn't work. And then the grapes that I fertilized last week. So we fertilized these. They grew last year, and then they got nibbled to nothing. They grew, nibbled to nothing. I think it happened 3 times, and then they didn't really do anything else for the rest of the season. I fertilized these last week. They don't look horribly bad. Looks like I'm gonna have to check them again in another. It's not there, it's here. Yeah, this one still looks just the same. So, infrared, the bugs will see, I guess, something in this one that they don't see in the others. Though this is a green variety. These 2 are the greens that I did not research for stability here in our environment. And then these 2 are Mars grapes that said that the flavor is excellent, plus the disease pressure and pest pressure is pretty good here as well with these. So we're going to continue with the elderberries.